Hello everyone, welcome in today to the Coach KJ Carousel Dynasty. Today, your number 9 Florida Gators are taking on the Kentucky Wildcats at Kroger Field. I just want to let y'all know I'm still sick, so my voice may crack and be a little weak, and I may sound a little nasally throughout this episode, but I'm keeping it going for y'all and I want to get it out to you. So the Gators are going to open up with the ball as Kentucky boots it down there, and Macario Dorba's going to take this one from about the 3-yard line, maybe 4-yard line. He has a little bit of a crease and he goes down after taking that for 20 yards. So first thing we're going to do is see the offense in Dana Garcia, who has 5 touchdowns and 5 picks on the season. He's been a little bit disappointing. Last week was a really bad game against Tennessee. Let's see how he rebounds after that one. And he opens up the day with a quick little pass out there to Breland Brown for 4 yards. Our skill positions all remain the same. We haven't had any injuries or any changes there. However, I will say Macario Dorba's pushing Logan Houston for that number 3 receiver spot. So that's a change we could see coming depending upon how things go as we go to Quantel Johnson on second down. And he's going to take that for just 1 yard, backing us up to a 3rd and 5. So Garcia and the Gators looking to pass. He throws it quick underneath. That's Macario Dorba not getting the first down as he steps out of bounds, but we go for it and run the QB sneak with Dana Garcia and get that first down and keep this drive alive. We're feeling a little bit of pressure after the way things ended last week. We can't lose back-to-back weeks to rivals, so we need to get this figured out. It's 2nd and 10, and we go back to the ground game again. Quantel Johnson with a nice little cut to the backside and takes that for 12 yards and a Gator first down. They're marching on this drive as Gayassi Blanks checks in, and that's a quick screen out there to David Hester, who breaks a tackle. He's going free down the sideline. He's at the 30, the 20, and they catch him from behind at about the 17-yard line. Coming out in the pistol here, Quantel Johnson's back in the game. We're going to throw a screen to the other side. That's Logan Houston making the reception and getting the first down after picking up about 12 yards. So on 1st and goal in the pistol, handing it off. Quantel, he has a chance. He can't break the tackle. That's going to get down to about the half-yard line or so. So we're in the pistol with Gayassi Blanks in the game, and he goes backwards. He ends up losing 3 as we try to get to the edge. Honestly, that was a bad idea. He's not fast enough. So 3rd and goal, we have to pass, and we throw it into coverage. Are you kidding me? That's an interception by Malik Smith. So let's take a look at Kentucky starting quarterback Mitchell Behringer. He has 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 529 yards, and he's averaging less than 40% completion percentage. Now, he's not their traditional starter. Their traditional starter is out, as you've seen on the injury report, but their backup has to fill in and try to improve. He has not been very good so far. Looking at our starting defense, everything remains the same. We've been lucky and pretty much healthy on offense and defense this season. So let's see if we can keep it up as Carter comes in motion across the formation. This is going to be a triple option, and it gets blown up immediately. Gage Carter ends up losing 5 yards. That backs him up to a 3rd and 10 for Behringer, who's got a pass, and he just checks it down to Webb underneath for a 3-yard pickup, and Kentucky has to punt the ball back to the Gators, and we go to Quantel Johnson to begin this drive, and that's a solid 4-yard pickup. He's not the fastest guy, so we'll take 4 yards of carry as we go right back to Quantel, and he's up the middle breaking a tackle, and that one's going to go for 12 and a Gator first down as we're now in Kentucky territory. Gayassi Blanks checks into the game and gets a carry, and he ends up losing 1. He's had a tough start to his day, that's for sure. In the pistol, Blanks still in the game. They go right back to him, and he has a crease up the middle. He holds on through contact and picks up 14 yards. However, Gayassi Blanks gets shaken up on the play. We don't know if we'll see him again today. So Drew Williams checks into the game and gets a carry. He's a little bit more speedy. He goes for about 9 there. That's a great rush. He can be an exciting little back. So Garcia's going to throw here on 2nd and 1, and that was a tight coverage pass to Jaden Norwood for another Gator first down. So we go to the end zone, and that was nearly intercepted on this play. Got in the gun here. Garcia's going to throw a quick screen out there. That's Logan Houston going down after picking up just 2 yards. So a big 3rd and 8 here. Basically a first down's at the 1-yard line, and we go to the end zone. Touchdown Gators. Jaden Norwood picks up 9 yards and the touchdown. Florida's going to take a 7-0 lead in this one late in the first quarter. Let's see if Mitchell Behringer in this Kentucky offense can answer as he goes underneath to Caddis, who had a pretty darn good game against us last year, as he picks up 5 to end the first. It's 7-0 Florida here at the end of 1. Their offense has been really good. We've moved the ball well. Just turnovers cropping up has been the biggest issue with this offense all season. And, they popped up again today, or else we'd already be in a 2-score situation here. So to open up the second quarter, they go on the ground, and that was a short pickup, bringing up a 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats, and Behringer's going to run a delay, and that works perfectly. Webb gets a big gain of 12 yards on 3rd and 2 for a Wildcat first down. So coming out in the gun here, Behringer's going to run a QB draw, and that gets ate up perfectly by the Gator defense. There was nowhere to go. Bringing up a 2nd and 10 under center is Behringer dropping back and looking to pass, and that was just inaccurate. That's typically who he is as a quarterback, so that brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats, and J.J. White gets the sack to end this drive. Our Gator defense has played fantastic today. They have stepped up and done everything well as Garcia and the offense take over, and he fires out there and finds Logan Houston for 12 yards. Houston's going to come in motion this time, but they're going to hand it to Quantel going back the other way, who breaks a tackle and picks up only 4 yards. I thought we had a little more space on that one. Coming out in the gun here, 2nd and 6. Garcia moving to the right. He's not fast, but he's looking down the field, and he finds Logan Houston having himself a great day so far. That's a 20-yard pickup for the Gators. In the gun, Quantel Johnson behind him gets the carry, and he takes that for 5 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 5 for the Gators. Coming out in the gun here, Garcia looking to drop back pass once again, and he has Macario Dorba open. That was good ball placement, throwing it behind so the linebacker couldn't get in front of him, as that's going to get a Gator first down, and they throw a quick screen to Breland Brown that's read perfectly by this Wildcats defense. So in the pistol, Quantel Johnson gets the carry, and that's a short one. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7, which is one of the longer conversions that the Gators have had to get today, as Garcia's looking down the field, and that's a drop. He had Jaden Norwood. It hit him in the hands, so we are forced to settle for 3. That's up and good, making this 10-0 Gators. Mitchell Behringer in the offense takes over, and they need points on this drive to even stay credible in this one, and he goes down the field to Jordan Anthony for 16 yards. That's a great way to start a drive that you gotta have. Caddis comes in motion, and they hand it off to Webb, who cuts it back, and that's a nifty run, but it only goes for 4 yards. He ran for a lot more than that just to pick up 4. Caddis again going in motion. This is going to be another run, except for it's a read option, and Behringer pulls it and gets the first down. He picks up 7 yards. This has been probably the most productive Wildcat drive so far, as they go to Webb, and he gets nowhere. He gets stuffed in the backfield. That's Norkeithius Moore stepping up and taking him down. Bringing up a 2nd and 1. Caddis goes in motion, and again, they're handing it off. This time it's McLean in the game, who jukes out a guy, and McLean might go all the way. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats. They're going to get on the board here with a 49-yard Shane McLean touchdown, making this 10-7 here as Dana Garcia and the Gators take over. Garcia feeling pressure, runs right into it. I don't know what he was doing there. That's a sack. That backs us up to a big 2nd and 18 and gets us behind the sticks. Garcia again looking to move, trying to throw, and he just chucks it down the field. You can't do that. We're lucky Elijah Reed didn't pick that off, and that was only a deflection. So 3rd and 18, we need the first down here. However, Garcia gets hit as he releases it. We got to punt the ball back. The Wildcats take over and get an excellent stand. They have about a minute and 8 seconds or so to get points on the board before the half, and they go down the field. That's Gage Carter with a big 38-yard reception right there. The Wildcats are now comfortably in scoring position as they go underneath, and that's Webb, their running back, picking up 15 on the reception. So now they're down to about the 18-yard line, and it looks like they're comfortable running it, and they hand it to Webb, who actually has a crease. That's Wells catching him from behind. He picks up 14, giving the Wildcats a 1st and goal from about the 4-yard line. Webb gets the carry, and that's Chris McClellan getting him down for the 4-yard loss. So they hurry to the line, 37 seconds left. Behringer moving in the pocket, feeling pressure. He throws that while getting hit. That should have been an interception by Zach Poydras. He dropped it. Back in the Wildcats up to a 3rd and goal. Behringer passing, and he goes underneath to Josh Caddis for 5. The Gators hold here, forcing the Wildcats to have to settle for 3. That's up and good. They tie it up 10-10 at halftime. The Gators should have been in more control of this game. It's really disappointing that they're tied at halftime, but it is what it is. You know, interceptions happened. And also, we missed the opportunity to turn Kentucky over as well. We dropped picks and stuff. When that happens, you can't be leading, and you allow the, honestly, worst team to stay in the game. As you look at our stats, we're better on offense than them, although Kentucky did come to life here at the end of the half. We do have that 1 turnover to 0 for Kentucky. We have a worse penalty, 1 for 15, which isn't bad. And then time of possession, we've dominated it, which just tells the story of how much we've controlled this game, yet we made mistakes to keep Kentucky in it. Now let's take a look at our recruiting news from around the dynasty. This week we have Jensen Skalski, a 4-star receiver out of Ohio who soft committed to the Gators. Next up's Mike Graham, a 3-star D-tackle who soft committed to the Seminoles. And then we have John Blasco Jr., a 4-star halfback who soft committed to Northwestern. He He's out of Florida. I really think we can flip this kid. We're going to keep trying to. As we open up the second half, we got to boot the ball to Kentucky, and Blitty just takes a knee. So let's see Mitchell Behringer in the offense, and let's see if they can answer any of this. As they go to Webb, who gets around Chris McClellan, and he has a crease on the edge to go for 10 yards and a Wildcat first down to begin the second half. Now out of the gun, Mitchell Behringer looking to pass, feeling pressure, and down he goes. That's a sack by our safety, Hayes. That's going to back him up to a 2nd and 19, and they're going to run speed option. They go to Reginald Webb, and they pitch it out to him on the edge, and he goes basically nowhere. That's going to back him up to a 3rd and 16. Behringer dropping back to pass, firing that in there. That's Mullen making the reception, but he didn't get the first down. He wasn't that close. 4th and 4. The Wildcats have to punt it back to the Gators, and they open up the second half by handing it to Quantel Johnson for 7 yards right up the middle. So on 2nd and 3, they remain in the pistol, and they hand it off. That's Quantel Johnson going to the left and getting the first down on a 6-yard carry. If they can lean into this ground game, that'll solve a lot of their turnover issues, because Quantel really hasn't had a fumbling issue throughout his career. It's just our quarterback keeps throwing picks. Guyassi Blanks checks in, and now he gets a carry, and he takes that for only a gain of 2. So now we have a 3rd and 3. We go 5 wide looking to pass, and we throw it quick underneath. That's Kai Weiser making the reception, taking that for 12 yards and a Gator. First down remaining with nobody in the backfield. We throw it quick. That's Macario Dorba coming down with it, and that's a big first down to about the 21-yard line, and they hand it off. Quantel Johnson gets the carry. That's a short one, only about 3, maybe 4 yards there. So as you can see, injuries, Logan Houston, Guyassi Blanks, and more are all out for this game. So Garcia looking to pass, standing in the pocket, firing it into double coverage. He's got to be better about that. He's been really struggling seeing the field so far in his first year as the starter, and he throws that. That's a nice throw to Macario Dorba right there. He's getting hit, and he fires that right along the sideline perfectly for the first down as they go to Quantel Johnson, and that's a short one, only 2 yards. Kentucky's catching on to our rushing attack a little bit. We might need to try to get to the edges as we run a counter with Quantel, and he read that play perfectly and took it for 8 yards. You'd love to see him get in, but Guyassi Blanks checks into the game, and he gets himself a touchdown. That's a 1-yard touchdown run for Guyassi Blanks in his first of the season. The Gators retake the lead 17-10 here late in the third quarter as Reginald Webb gets a carry here for the Wildcats to begin the drive, and that's only a 4-yard pickup. That's relatively short. So they go right back to him, and that's a solid run there. He has a lot of gaps. Caddis blocked 2 guys on that play, allowing Webb to get past midfield, and he's down to about the 36-yard line. That's a 34-yard run by Reginald Webb. Mitch Behringer back to pass, and that was just maybe a throwaway or really, really terrible. 2nd and 10 now, Behringer running speed option. This time he breaks Nathan Osborne's tackle, and he does take that for 5 yards. I thought that was going to be a loss. So 3rd and 5, Behringer's got to throw, and that was just bad. That was really bad. So they have to settle for 3, and the kick's up and barely gets in there. They get it. 17-3 is your score as the Gators take over, looking to get a 2-score lead as they go to Quantel Johnson for a 6-yard rush. So on 2nd and 4, they remain in the pistol and go right back to Quantel, who fights ahead and gets a first down on a 5-yard carry. This might be your last play of the third quarter as they come out with 5 wide and throw it underneath to Jaden Norwood for the first down and a 12-yard reception there. And actually, we're going to get one more play here as Dana Garcia's in the pocket, feeling a little bit of pressure, throwing that out there to the sideline to Breedland Brown for 14 yards, ending the third quarter with a first down. The Gators are leading this one 17-13 as they head into the fourth. I think they can win this one. They are the better team. This game's closer than it probably even should be. So I think they'll take control here late in this one, as any good team will do, as they hand it off to Quantel Johnson, who had a chance there, but a guy got off the block just in time to take him down. So they go right back to Quantel, who jukes a little bit and gets 9 yards and a Gator first down once again. Our rushing attack's been pretty good. The biggest problem is Coach KJ does not seem to want to lean into it, and that's what happens. They throw a pick with Dana Garcia. It's been a real problem for them this season. Garcia's not controlling the ball well. He's not being smart, and he could end up losing his job if he keeps this up, man. That's just bad game management right there by our quarterback. Kentucky sends a receiver in motion across the entire formation here, and then they're going to run speed option, and Behringer goes down. That's a great play by our backup defensive end who's filling in for the injured Norkeithius Moore. Behringer 3rd and 5, throws a screen out there. Reginald Webb's gonna get that first down with a nice stiff arm at the end of that. JJ White knocks him out of bounds after picking up 7. QB draws on the docket here on 1st and 10, and look at that move by Mitchell Behringer, but he fumbles it. That's Chris McClellan getting the recovery. and the Gators finally get a turnover. That saves us from the big mistake Dana Garcia made. But look, Coach KJ also made a mistake here. He needs to lean into the ground game. Dana Garcia is clearly not seeing the game well. You can't keep letting him throw. It worked there. We get the first down and 17 yards to Breland Brown. But we can't come out firing like this after a turnover. Let's run the dang ball. It's 2nd and 17 following a sack. And they bring in Earl Brown the second, and it looks like just that, trying to run the ball. That was a very short 2-yard pickup. 3rd and 15, back in the game. Dana Garcia looking to pass, and he's feeling pressure. He just checks it down to backup running back Ladarius Marlowe. He only took that for 3. We should be able to hit this field goal. Hopefully, Williams' kick is up and good. 20-13 Florida. They're back in front by 7, but man, they got to play smarter on offense. Coach KJ's plan needs to change. He needs to understand Dana Garcia's not seeing the field well. Just run the ball, man. But for a coach whose background's in a little bit of air raid, that's going to be a hard thing. It's not in his DNA to really lean into the ground game. He's done it at points during his career, but he really needs to step up and improve upon that, or else he's going to lose his opportunity to lead a premier program, as that's a fumble by Anthony, and Annie Bognam gets on top of it. The Gators, with back-to-back forced fumbles on Kentucky drives, get the ball back with 3:08 left in this game. Ladarius Marlowe gets a carry here. That's going to go for 6 yards, and the Gators are in prime position to close this one out. I don't love that they're passing here. Garcia just checks it down. That's Quantel Johnson getting the first down, keeping this drive alive. Kentucky should start using timeouts soon, but they haven't yet, and Quantel gets a carry here up the middle, and that's a solid 7-yard rush, and Kentucky does use their first time out there. So 2nd and 3, we go back to Quantel up the middle. He gets the first down. Kentucky's forced to use their second timeout. They may not get the ball back here at all, as they hand it off to Quantel Johnson on 1st and 10. That one doesn't go anywhere. Kentucky is forced to use their final timeout, though. So there's 2:10 left, and they're just going to keep it on the ground. Go to Quantel Johnson. And again, he goes nowhere. That's 3rd and 10. Gators can drain the clock, and they do get it down to about 125 before they hand it off to Quantel Johnson on a 7-yard rush. Unfortunately, he didn't get the first down, so we have to settle for 3 here. The kick's up and good. That gives us a 2-score lead, which should put us in the clear. But getting a first down there would have guaranteed we were in the clear, because we could have just ran the clock out. So Kentucky takes over, trailing now by 10, needing 2 scores. Behringer looking to pass, throwing it somewhat down the field. He finds Carter on sideline. He doesn't get out of bounds, though, so that clock keeps running until they spike it. They have 20 seconds left. They basically need to score on this play, and they hand it off. I for the life of me, cannot figure out why they would call a draw there. 4th and 1 with 8 seconds left. This game's basically over as they go down the field, and that's going to be picked off. Hayes is going to try to return it and basically just go down without fumbling, and that's going to be your ball game. We do decide to run a play here with Earl Brown the second to end it instead of taking a knee, but this one's over. 23-13 is your final. Florida's going to beat Kentucky and rebound from that loss last week against LSU. And as you can see, our player of the game was Joshua Williams, our kicker. You don't see that very often, but he was quite important to our victory today. As you can see, Dana Garcia went for 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He hit 71% of his passes, but he's still up and down. There's things to like about him, but there's also a lot of things I need to see improve. Quantel Johnson took 25 carries for 123 yards today. He didn't get into the end zone, but Gayassi Blanks did. Now looking at our receivers, there wasn't really a whole lot of production there. Jaden Norwood did get into the end zone, and our leading receiver really just wasn't anybody having a spectacular day. We spread the ball around pretty well, which is important, and honestly, with Dana Garcia, we kind of need to start limiting his pass attempts until he gets his turnover problem under control. So our receivers are unfortunately going to suffer because of that. Now taking a look at some of Kentucky's stats, Mitchell Behringer really didn't have a great day. He hit a lot of high percentage of passes, but he had 1 interception, no touchdowns. They really weren't that productive through the air. On the ground, Webb was really good, but I don't think they fed him enough. They should have given him the ball more, and they might have actually been able to pull off this upset. But I'll take their mistakes. Burkowski, their deep freshman linebacker, was really good today. Trey Burkowski, he had 4 TFLs, 8 tackles, 2 sacks. That kid was everywhere. He was fantastic, so I really don't look forward to having to face him each of the next few seasons. Now, let's take a look at our Heisman standings. Jumping to the top this week's Justin Martin, the quarterback out of UCLA, and he's new to the top of the board. He's had a really good season, so we'll have to see if he can maintain it. Next up, Stephen Bird of Toledo. Then you have Shane Cervenka of Alabama, Isaiah Carlisle of Washington, and then Ray Hobbs, the 4th of USC, comes in at number 5. Now taking a look at our top 25 polls. This week, Ohio State remains number 1, followed by A&M, followed by Oregon, Washington, Alabama, Baylor, and then Florida comes in at number 7. 8's TCU, 9's Oklahoma, and 10's Michigan. Teams that dropped down this week: Oklahoma State dropped from 4 to 11 after falling to UCF. Other than that, Georgia lost again. That's their second loss already on the season. They dropped it to Tennessee, though. So they dropped from 9 to 18. Tennessee's actually been a pretty good team, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad about losing to them. I'm still not happy about the loss, but I shouldn't feel too bad with how good they've actually been. But next week, we got to take on LSU. And LSU defeated us last season, so we need this victory. We cannot keep losing to rivals, like I said. I've been stressing that. This is 3 weeks in a row against rivals. We need this victory. LSU's a really good team. They are better than us. So we do have some work cut out for us in order to be able to beat them. Our points per game on offense are lower than theirs, but our defense has been better than theirs on the field. So we'll have to see if that remains true as we head into the game. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me today. Like I said, my voice still isn't right and I've been sick. So I thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm LDJ11. Have a wonderful day, and I'm out.
Welcome to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarred.